Okay, guys, I am making my first official YouTube video for coaching because I have my first nutrition coach slash fitness coach that I've ever had in my life. I've been working with her for about 4 weeks now, and I also am coaching my first client right now, and we're about 2 months into that. I got my precision nutrition certificate like probably 5 years ago, and I just never really used it. I managed a meal prep company and then started my own business with my mom, and now my brother has joined in, and we've been doing it for about a year and a half now. But coaching has been something I've always loved to do, wanted to do. So I'm finally doing that also, along with the business. And I also work at Track Club, which is a gym in downtown Phoenix. So everything kind of collabs together well. It's kind of all in the same world. But I kind of just want to use this channel to document the journey of what I'm learning from my coach and things that I'm teaching my client. So yeah, here we are. Welcome to the channel. So the biggest thing right now that I'm learning from my coach, her name is Kelly, and the biggest thing I'm learning from her is reverse dieting. Now, reverse dieting has always been a concept that I have honestly avoided because it's always kind of stressed me out, and I've never like fully comprehended or understood it. But I'm finally at the point of understanding it. So basically, what I've learned about it so far, especially now that I've been doing it for about 4 weeks since working with Kelly, is that reverse dieting is essentially creating a new maintenance for yourself. So my maintenance calories, so I thought, was 1,500 calories. So I hadn't been eating that for roughly a couple of years. And then I got coffee with my friend Lindsay, who is also a nutrition coach, and she mentioned reverse dieting, and I was like, can you like backtrack that? Because I was like, I really need to understand this concept so that I can explain this to my clients or use it on my clients if they need it. And I don't want to lead any of my clients into anything unhealthy if I'm doing something unhealthy. So then she starts explaining it, and she's like, really, your maintenance calories should be closer to like 1,900 or something like that. So she's like, you need to do a reverse. And I left the conversation and started crying, actually, because I was like, I don't want to eat more calories. Like, that kind of freaks me out to eat more calories and just like potentially gain weight, because it kind of goes against the psychology and like thought process that I've had for the past couple years. Like the past couple years, I've always just thought it's the basic, like calories in, calories out. And I basically like lost 20 pounds or something.
20 or 30.
20, it wasn't 30, it was like 20 or 25 pounds. No, 20 pounds, yeah. So I lost about 20 pounds, and I was like, it was always like, calories in, calories out. This is just how it works, But then like the more confirmation I started getting through, like I started talking to other coaches, and I was like, is this true? Do you think I need to do a reverse diet? And everyone was confirming like, yes, you need to do a reverse diet. Like 1,500 is way too little. Because basically, like, even if I wanted to cut at 1,500, then, to be in a 500 calorie deficit each day to lose like a pound a week, that would be 1,100, or no, yeah, that'd be like 1,000 calories. And that's extremely unhealthy. That's less than a kid needs. So you can't do that. So basically, reverse dieting is creating a new maintenance for yourself so that like once you go higher up the ladder, you have further to jump, if that makes sense. So oftentimes, once people have healed and gotten themselves back to their true maintenance, once they cut, their new deficit was their original maintenance. And also with a reverse, you want to increase your calories by about 50 calories a week until you reach that maintenance. You don't want to like straight up go to what your maintenance should be right away, because your body will freak out and like I'm not used to all this food, and it'll just store it as fat. But if you increase your calories slowly over time, then your body basically learns to use more food gradually over time and use that food for fuel and energy, and learns how to burn it, and it increases your metabolism. So yeah, and throughout this process, I've maybe gained like a pound so far in 4 weeks, but I'm right now, so I started at 1,500 calories, and right now I'm at 1,735 calories my coach has me at. And even at one point I like lost a little weight, if anything, because basically your body is like coming out of stress mode, and it learns like, oh, like I'm not starving or whatever, and I can like actually let go of the food and like process it. But now, I honestly, in the beginning, I was like really scared about this whole thing, and like mentally not great, because I kept having like rewire everything in my brain. Like in the beginning, before I started all this, if I had like 200 calories that I didn't eat that day, then I'm like, oh, like, I mean, that's great. That's, ideal. But now doing this, it's like if I'm 200 calories under, like I really, really need to eat more and increase my calories, because otherwise my coach is just going to have me eat that same calories again the next week, and it's only going to extend the process before she can bump me up even more calories, if that makes sense. So yeah, there's definitely been some days where I'm like very full and not happy about it, but there are some tips I have learned. So if you are early on in this process or thinking about doing this, something that's really important to do is make sure you're eating enough protein throughout the day, so that you don't overwhelm yourself at night and then have to get a bunch in, and then you feel sickly full, because nobody wants to feel that way. And also just making sure you're eating enough calories throughout the day. I also think like before I started this, I would kind of want to like save more calories for at night, like if I wanted a fun snack or like whatever at night. But now I've like tried to completely let go of that thought process and not like save any calories for at night, because really you want to be burning those calories throughout the day and like working it off kind of thing. And also you just don't want to like screw yourself over at night, because it's just more calories than you're used to. So don't try to like save a snack for later. So that's a big thing for me. And then I talked to like a few of my coach friends, since I work at a gym, and my friend Cisco especially has been helpful, and my friend Lindsay, and they both start like all of their clients basically on a reverse diet, because I think more people than we realize are under eating, and I think like a lot of people say, oh, it's just for people who are doing like extreme like body competitions and whatever, but it's actually like a lot of people. And if you want to help your clients lose weight, you first have to make sure they're eating enough so you could even like cut that, because again, you can't like, if you're already here, you can only cut so much to go here. But if you jump them up, then they can cut a lot more, so they're actually losing weight effectively. So yeah, that's kind of where I'm at. Another thing about protein that was hard for me in the beginning is that it's always kind of like messed with my digestion, because protein is harder, for your body to process, and it takes longer to digest. And I already like kind of naturally struggle with digestion my whole life. So when I didn't have a coach, like I would be able to last for like a week getting in like 120 grams protein or whatever, because I'm like 125 pounds. So I basically need like around that, you need like 1 gram of protein per pound of body weight type thing. So I need like 125 grams of protein. And usually before I worked with my coach, I would get like probably like 70 grams of protein a day on average. You know, it was like hard for me. And then when I started working with her, she's like, you really need like 120 grams of protein or something. And so then my digestion was like jacked up. And I told her, I'm like, I can't do this. Like, this is exactly why I can't do the protein thing. And she was telling me, she's like, your body like will adapt. Like, you just have to push through. And then I talked to another coach, and she's like, it's okay for your body to need to warm up to eating more protein. And it's okay to like not go from 70 grams of protein to 120, and to go from like 70 grams of protein to 90 grams, then to 100 grams, then to 110. Like, you don't have to jump straight up to like what your protein goal should be. So that really helped me, and that was like a mental relief too when she said that. So I basically did that, and now my body has adapted, like she said, like after I've like pushed through that, and I've been getting in roughly, I would be getting like 115 to 130 grams of protein consistently for over 3 weeks now. So that's the longest I've ever gone hitting my protein goals like in my entire life. And I am like a pound up from when I started, but I do feel more toned right now. And yeah, but that's all I'll share with you guys for now. I will keep you updated as the journey continues. And again, shout out to my brother for recommending me to start my own YouTube channel, because he just started his, and honestly, he's been having a lot of success, a lot of great feedback, and he's kind of doing a similar thing. He's just like getting on camera and, you know, not editing much and just posting. So I'm not overthinking it, and I'm just posting. And if you're interested, follow along, subscribe, all the things. You can find me on Instagram at Carleigh Jean, Carleey Jean, or at Coaching with Carleigh. So yeah.